Good news guys, we have so many channel members I physically cannot show them in a single screenshot. And you guys know what that means? That's right, I have to divide them and pin them against each other. Left versus right, blue versus yellow. You know, the standard division tactics. Remember guys, if you want to run a successful corporation, it's not enough to simply take their money. You have to make it as damaging to society as physically possible. Otherwise, you have the moral obligation to give all your wealth and power to someone else. That's why today we're playing as New Granada, a country rife for division and profit. And we're ruled by a president, Francisco de Paula Santander, at least until the next elections, which are due next year. In the meantime, we have to fix our agricultural sector, which is vital for our economic growth. As you can clearly see, the world market hungers for agriculture of all kinds, and by God, I'll feed it for money. We're also going to make a deal with the United States, as we need foreign investment and security guarantees. But first we need more trade capacity. I mean, just look at that market. It feels like an American airport in here. Just hire more people. Am I right guys? Also, we need to earn our recognition from Spain. That's certainly new and exciting. Crap! Bolivia is trying to make a confederation with Peru. Not on my watch. Eat donkey balls, Bolivia. Such unprecedented, aggressive military expansionism shouldn't be allowed. What is this? The Balkans? Anyway, it is time to secure the peace and stability in Central America by force. And of course, we're going to need a comprehensive trade deal with the Americans so they can directly inject goods in our market, as I physically don't have the paper to list all of the shortages. What the dickens? Bolivia is attacking Chile. Of course I'll help. No, wait a minute. Chile is attacking Bolivia, but in like a self-defense type of way. So I accept. And it seems that Central America is falling apart. Well, that's not gonna stop me. Neither will the two-front war. Remember guys, we have plenty of young men ready and willing to serve the army. And I'll send all of them to their deaths if I have to. As the pride of our nation is at stake here. Now I know what you guys are saying. Am I gonna send my son to fight? Well, of course not. But it's for personal reasons. So please, do not hold that against me. And it's time for elections. It seems that the conservatives are enjoying a massive support. Obviously, we have to start dividing our nation. We've achieved victory over the Central American peoples who couldn't stay united, allowing us to destroy them more easily. Talk about a proof of concept. And the conservatives managed to win. Everyone, our new president, Thomas Cipriano de Mosquera, is about to address the most divisive issue in our country, slavery. We're going to ban it. That's right guys, the government will never allow you to have nice things. But we managed to achieve peace through strength, and nothing bad will ever happen in Bolivia ever again. Bolivia War II, Electric Boogaloo, and Spain just recognized our independence, which means more immigrants, giving us even more opportunities for division. Now that's what I live for. And Bolivia backed down, which means we have an independent North Peru without fighting. See that guys? My crazy political theories work. Slavery banned. Good job conservatives. Right on time for the elections. Alright guys, now I have but one question for you.
How many of you would like to see impeachment hearings? No. That was the wrong answer. Let me try it again. How many of you would like to see impeachment hearings? No!
Alright guys, I hear you. You want debt slavery. Now obviously this is a controversial issue. However, I have a quick and easy solution. Hi there, it's me, Professor Anti-Socialism, and I firmly endorse the conservative bid for the elections, as President Tomas has a real solution to fix all of our issues. As you're probably aware, trash has devoured nature and is suffocating all of God's favorite creatures. However, psst. With an adequate number of slaves, we can clean all nature in no time. Vote conservative for a clean environment. And the conservatives managed to win by quite a large margin. Celebrity endorsements, am I right guys? What incredible support for President Thomas. He got assassinated. Talk about a rough impeachment. But that's alright guys, because we have a brand new conservative president, Manuel José de Mosquera. Finally, slavery. Alright guys, let me explain how this works. For you see, every poor person who can't pay off their debts becomes a slave. slave. Then they get employed in the plantations, stealing the job of a regular laborer, which means they'll struggle, fail to pay off their debts, get enslaved, come back to the plantation with a more realistic wage expectation. The miracle of capitalism, which actually reminds me, the Europeans. They will definitely be willing to invest in a country which primarily uses slave labor. Remember guys, Karl Marx always says stuff like, the more commodities workers produce, the less valuable their labor becomes, and eventually the worker becomes the cheapest commodity. God bless capitalism. I also promised a dedicated police force. Also, we're Colombia now. When did that happen? But you know what? I like it, because Christopher Columbus discovered the Caribbean, and as soon as he met the locals, he immediately used violence to enslave them and take all of their valuables. What a guy. We're also having a minor special military operation in Venezuela, which is nothing to worry about. I mean, it's not as if we are run by some crazy liberals who are committed to fix all their problems with violence and war. God bless being run by average conservatives who are committed to solve all their problems with violence and war. And of course, after completing our mission for ruckus in Caracas, we can finally form Grand Colombia. And in this historic moment for all of our peoples, I just have to say it, the liberals could never, because they suck. Obviously, this gives us plenty of prestige, allowing us to threaten Ecuador. We can destroy them at any point. We're also going to need some sort of an education system, so all of our citizens can be able to correctly read Megacorp, the only good guy in the whole story who allows you to work in their plantations. That's right, it is time for our very first company, and we're going to give them all of the monopolies. Everyone, welcome to Megacorp Plantations. You will work here, Megacorp. Now here's the thing about monopolies, not only that Megacorp Plantations is the only entity allowed to own tobacco, coffee and sugar plantations, but they also raise the prices for your local market, allowing them to be super profitable, and all excess goods get sold on the world market, undercutting foreign competition, because fuck 'em, Megacorp. Alright guys, it is time for us to vote liberal, because if the conservatives win, and the liberals managed to win. Damn, that was one good campaign. And we have a brand new president, Jose Hilario Lopez. Unfortunately, the conservatives have the Senate. Well, that's pretty awkward. Have you guys considered donating to your local liberal representative? All transactions are handled by Megacorp. Oh crap, look at Chile and their aggressive military expansionism. See that guys? Peru, Bolivia were the good guys this whole time, and they managed to form a confederation peacefully. I really hope this destroyed all the propaganda surrounding them. And the bad guys were Argentina and Chile. Religious schools, more like crap schools. Am I right guys? Unfortunately, having a divided parliament means that we have to vote on something left-leaning and right-leaning politicians can agree on. Protectionism. I mean, who doesn't love tariffs? They protect our local producers and businesses from the evil foreigners who keep dumping their super cheap goods in our market. Remember guys, if you want to buy something, you have to buy it at the right price. Megacorp. Alright, we're going to invade Ecuador and steal all of their plantation land, which will allow us to increase shareholder value, which might lead some of you to believe that the conservatives were right and we're actually crazy liberals, hellbent on solving all of their problems with violence. But that's objectively incorrect. We're not crazy. Protectionism, hell yeah! We're also going to need a comprehensive land reform. And of course, I'm going to give the Americans engine and yacht monopoly. Hopefully, they'll start investing in us. And of course, to encourage even more investment, we're going to give iron monopoly to Sweden. Come on Sweden, I have slaves! Alright guys, it's time to vote liberal, so they can finally get the government and presidency at the same time. I mean, you can clearly see the conservative influence, like what was the thing with Ecuador, which was objectively bad, and even though the liberal president made all the decisions, that's no excuse. Finally, a based liberal president, Guillermo Zaudua, and just look at the profits, 1.5k from 2 coffee plantations. And we're also paying more money for slave upkeep than real wages, not paying your workers, my favorite cost-cutting method. The land reforms are done, and even more good news, Belgium is willing to sign an alliance and also invest in our slave economy, thus committing to the class classic Belgium economic strategy. Anyway, it is time for us to get freedom of conscience, as all the terrible things I'm committing for profit is starting to weigh down on me. Remember kids, empathy is a weakness. Ignore it. And we're going to make a big trade deal with the Prussians and the Austrians, giving our merchants free access to the European market. Now that's what I'm talking about. Alright guys, women should be allowed to work, which is something I firmly believe. And I'm not just saying it because it's election season. Obviously, we have to vote conservative, because I firmly believe women don't exist. It's liberal propaganda. And of course, we just have to attack Chile, as their dangerous aggressive military expansionism is threatening our national security. And the conservatives managed to win. We have a brand new president, Domingo de la Santa Cruz. And of course, we have to fight Chile, but that's nothing to worry about. The real question is the women. Why do so many people believe they exist? It's preposterous. Legislative failure, common sense prevails. We should also get elected bureaucrats. Honestly, I don't have any ulterior motives for this one. I just want to spite the liberals. And with Belgium help, we managed to kick out the Chileans, getting even more plantation land, which will benefit the whole of our society with no downsides. I mean, just look at this coffee plantation. Once under our management, it instantly tripled the profits. Anyway, it is time for us to do the right-wing policy of lowering taxes and government spending. Also, Venezuela is still alive, so we're just gonna have a daring naval invasion, and we can stop pretending they ever existed. Alright guys, it's time for us to vote liberal. The conservatives do nothing but wage wars and push for all sorts of evil policies like elected bureaucrats. Gross. I mean, just look at them. Sign a security guarantee with Egypt. Oh, evil like. Ugh. Evil, I tell you. And the liberals managed to win, which means 4 more years for President Guillermo Zaldúa, who's an alcoholic now. I'm sorry guys, it's very difficult to be a complete schizo every 4 years. But that's peak democracy. Anyway, it is time for us to perform the left-leaning policies, such as increase taxes and push for innovative progressive ideas, such as people of different cultures are inferior to us and should be discriminated. I mean, come on guys, it's 1857. Get with the times. You can't just judge people based on their skin color. You have to judge them on the way they speak, the way they dress, and where they're born, obviously. And I do realize that having high taxes will reflect poorly on the average citizen, but on the bright side, Megacorp will get a lot more slaves, which will increase shareholder value. But it is important for you guys not to fall for the conservative propaganda. They keep saying stuff like, we don't have a conscience. But the truth is, this is a conscious economic strategy. What the dickens? Brazil is attacking me, even though I have security guarantees with the United States and Belgium. We're obviously going to get the Dutch East Indies, as the Netherlands decided to join. I mean, Prussia has it covered. To be fair, this unbridled aggression out of Brazil is certainly out of character. It honestly feels like a Megacorp CEO from another dimension has just spawned in and is attempting to assert their dominance over our brand. Motherfucker, we're fighting for Egypt's independence. This is quite the conflict. The stupid conservative bastards sold out our country for 2,000 buccarinos per week. But before we get involved in the Middle East, I just have to clarify things with the Brazilian king Pedro de Barganza.
I wouldn't even keep you as a slave in my empire!
The Netherlands also gave up, which means now we own Grand Colombian East Indies, and we can also change their administration's language. As for the conflict in the Middle East, I'm sorry boyos, but my government didn't sign anything, so I'm just gonna give up and forget any of this ever happened. Who cares about this desert anyway? Alright guys, it's that time of the year again when I urge you to believe me when I say women are real. They're not just men in funny clothes. Promise. And it's time for elections. You know what? I'm not going to interfere, because I want 10% of the people to spread the conspiracy theory in which your vote matters and democracy is real. Hopefully, this will distract most of you who keep believing in the conspiracy theory that the government is putting things in the water that make men into women, after which the government pretends like women were there this entire time. It's a bunch of nonsense, guys. Ignore it. The liberals managed to win, and we have a brand new president, Vicente de Herrera. Unfortunately, we have no legitimacy, so we have to stick to the right-wing tax policies. Crap! We have no legitimacy, even though we're not taxing anyone. In that case, we can focus on collecting money, so we can pay off our debts generated by the previous government. And now we're going to revoke the American monopolies, as their company already has an HQ, and it serves no purpose at this point. To be honest, I would nationalize all of their buildings, but I'm too scared. Oh no, General Juan Jones is forming a coup. coup committed to his crazy conspiracy theories. Women are real, guys. I've seen them. And we also have access to reserve coffee, thanks to megacorp plantations. Remember, guys, every ounce of reserve coffee is harvested through ethical means with free labor, which gives it the rich and intensive taste for a truly addictive experience. Megacorp.
We know you're trying to each other.
What? No.
Oh, please. Brothers and sisters don't look at each other like that.
We sent you to West Africa for a reason, Ryan, to separate you and your sister.
You're crazy!
Oh, yeah? What's this?
He's my present this year.
Megacorp. The coup has been successful, putting women on the back burner in the kitchen. We also have a national guard, and a brand new president, Cipriano Caamano, and an achievement, military junta. Hilarious. And it's time for early elections. Obviously, I need more people to believe in this whole democracy thing, as that would make them way more polarized. The liberals managed to win, and we have Vicente de Herrera again. But I can't reform the government. Well, this sucks. Alright then, we need some electoral changes. Motherfucker, it's another coup. It's also the same guy. Granted, the president is also the same, so I get why he fancy his chances. Easy peasy, squeeze the lemons. That's right, guys, you can now vote so long as you can read. And you're a man. Which, contrary to popular belief, isn't everyone. Also, we're gonna need free trade, as I really want to push my addictive substances, harvested through slave labor, in the rest of the world. Even more elections, and most of the people believe in them. Alright guys, it's time to vote liberal, as the conservatives are plotting a coup. Alright, 4 more years for President Vicente de Herrera. And with this sweeping legislative change, we can finally import grain, because our people were starving. This allows us to focus on some more important issues, such as a private healthcare system. Listen guys, I've heard rumors that we don't have enough women, but I am certain this will change once Megacorp is in charge of the healthcare system. Uruguay is ready to join Megacorp willingly. And of course, Argentina is ready to join Megacorp by force. Oh crap, I forgot to justify the war. I mean, they've committed so many atrocities, it's unbelievable, so I'm not gonna mention any of them, because you're not gonna believe me even if I tell you. And with Megacorp Health, we can cure so many people of preventable diseases, mainly our people. We'll save ourselves. Megacorp. Oh hi there, it's me, Professor Anti-Socialism, and I welcome you all to the Megacorp free education program, where you get to learn all about the plantations. First class, sugar. Come on sport, show us what you've got. And you failed. For consuming product without paying for it, you're going to become a slave. Next class, tobacco. Remember kids, you can't simply take it. You have to pay for it. And realistically, you should, because it makes you look really cool. Megacorp, the world's leading education corporation. And Amazonia is ready to join Megacorp willingly. And it's time for elections. Crap! A third party? This is unimaginable. Listen guys, we have to vote conservative. We have clearly liberalized too much. First, it was this crazy women thing. And now a third party? This country is going to shit. Luckily, our future generations will be educated correctly. The conservatives won, and now we have Domingo de la Santa Cruz, a seasoned politician who needs to pivot to the hard right policies, such as a local police force. And we managed to land in Argentina. That's what you get with a competent conservative government. And just like that, with his masterful presidentialness, President Domingo managed to assure a bright future for our children. God, he loves the children. All of his slaves are kids and everything. What a guy. And Haiti is also willing to join. Nice. And now we're going to break our alliance with Belgium. What kind of an idiot would work with them? Instead, we're going to have an alliance with Sweden. They're so much better. Alright, now I know what you guys are thinking. Damn this Amazon forest. Someone has to destroy it. Luckily for you, we can have a brand new Megacorp branch. Everyone, welcome to Megacorp Forest, the only corporation hellbent on destroying the environment for money. It's the only one, guys. Promise. Megacorp. And it seems that we're the second largest producers of hardwood, and the biggest importers are China and Prussia. Realistically, the Chinese government is buying super rare wood from Africa, provided by an Al-Qaeda branch. Besides, I simply can't resist entering the mighty Chinese market. I mean, we do need some ports, but this will also allow us to make super profitable banana plantations. And now our president can cosplay as the sheriff with the children. He can be like, I am the law. What a guy. Even more more elections, and we certainly have to vote Liberal, so we can crush the Radical Party's hopes and dreams. Ha! In your face, radicals! And we have a brand new president, Jose Antonio Falcon, and he's determined to open the floodgates of immigrants. This is what you get for supporting a third party. Also, we're getting dragged into a meaningless conflict. Damn those third party guys, how dare they! Also, we're starting to ramp up our banana production so we can make tons of money in the Chinese market. Currently, we're selling fruits for 48,000, whilst we're buying them for 44,000. Now I know some of you have needed medical attention, but unfortunately, you didn't pay your subscription to Megacorp Premium, and thus you were forced to use the Megacorp free option. And you have lots of questions, such as, what happened to my voice? What are these huge lumps on my chest? And where the hell are my balls? The Brazilians are attacking us again. Alright Pedro, I get it. I have humiliated you before. We are rivals, and also we're the biggest competitors in the coffee industry. But I still have American guarantees, so... what's the plan here? Obviously, we simply have to monopolize all of their coffee plantations. Congratulations, Argentina, you're getting dragged into this. Megacorp, easy peasy, squeeze the lemons and take all of their coffee. And just like that, we are the first and second largest producers. Immigrants, and they're coming in droves because they've heard of our women, which are real and exist all over the world. Of course. Socialism, damn it. This third party thing is getting out of hand. Alright guys, let's vote conservative so we can kick out the immigrants and stop this women nonsense once and for all. And now we have access to rosewood, which is a special Amazon type of hardwood. Remember guys, the Amazon forest is much like a woman, it makes me hard. And they've always been here. The conservatives managed to win, and we have a brand new president, Rafael Nunes, and he's ready to build the Panama Canal and aggressively intimidate Paraguay for rejecting our invitation to join Megacorp peacefully. They back down. Violence, it always gets the job done. Megacorp. And Sweden is attempting aggressive military expansionism. We simply have to help them unconditionally. What are friends for? Am I right guys? Besides, I'm dying to send our brave men to fight other brave men because women aren't real. I mean, if they were, you would certainly see some of them on the battlefield, but that's just not happening because it's all liberal propaganda. China broke off our deal. Damn it, that was a lot of money, but they seem to be dealing with a massive revolt and not a single woman involved. Legislative graveyard, whew, common sense prevails. You know what? We desperately need a secret police. Now I know some of you are worried about your privacy, but think about it. If you pay a subscription fee, we're not gonna look into your business. Finland capitulated, which means we have a big massive Scandinavia as an ally. Obviously, we have to make a deal with Denmark. We're going to guarantee their independence, give them trade privileges. In exchange, we're gonna get Greenland and 40% of their income. Now that's what I call a great deal. It's beautiful, although to be fair, it's a bit chilly up in here. This does remind me, Chile exists, so we have to invade them. And President Rafael has managed to do it. He built the Panama Canal. Incredible. So obviously, we have to vote liberal. These conservative bastards keep dragging us into conflicts. Privacy premium, thanks to Megacorp. Yet another brutal conflict. The liberals managed to win. So now we have a brand new president, Jose Manuel Guau. And now we're going to increase everyone's taxes, which is the thing the third party wants. You guys should really stop supporting them. They suck. And now we're going to promote European migrants. Damn those third party bastards. Chile capitulated, which means we have all of the South American countries I want. Hey, do you guys remember back in the day when politicians were all like, slavery wasn't that bad? And before you know it, there were so many slaves, even though no one actually said, I would like to be a slave please. At the end of the day, it all worked out. And you know what? I'm gonna be the first one to say it. Womanhood isn't all that bad. You just have to get used to not having balls. Brazil is attacking us again. Damn it, now I have to rip them to shreds and find a corresponding invincible meme.
Had enough yet?
I'll stop you.
I'm ready when you are.
Obviously, I have to call my friends, as I feel bullied at this point. We're also raising taxes. Damn you third-party bastards. Alright guys, it is time for you to join the front line, like real men. However, if you don't feel like real men, you can always visit your local Megacorp doctor, or drink tap water, as that really helps boost your confidence. What's left of Mexico gave up, Brazil gave up, and it's completely disgusting. I'm sorry guys, I get it, it's my job and all that, but how am I supposed to look myself in the mirror and live with myself? Alright guys, we have to vote conservative, because at this point I need to feel like a real man, and not like those men wearing funny clothes. And of course we have a brand new president, Rafael Nunes. Jesus Christ, this has to be the greatest political comeback of all time. And we're going to get colonial exploitation, which means we have to annex the Grand Colombian East Indies, giving us plenty of colonies rife for exploitation. And just like that, we have a higher GDP than the Americans. Also, Japan is looking at my East Indies and are starting to salivate, not to mention that they've clearly opened their market. Jesus, talk about economic growth. And of course, we finally have 4 million slaves. Now that's what I live for. World War I, ho ho boy, this is what you die for. I mean, come on, look at this. Austria, France and Scandinavia against Russia, Prussia and Grand Colombia. It's the fight for the ages. No man can resist. And as you're all aware, everyone is a man. Listen guys, we have to vote liberal because not everyone is a man. Obviously, we liberals support the war effort. And I know what you guys are thinking, but do we really have to? Of course not. Realistically, I physically don't have the paper to list all of the things we didn't have to do. But it's really freaking cool. I mean, come on, how often do you get a world war these days? In your face third-party bastards who keep saying stuff like war is bad and other nonsense. Obviously, our brand new president, Ignacio Zaudua, will bring an end to this. And of course, this shall create so much profits for Megacorp. Remember guys, even though you're fighting men side by side with other men, that doesn't mean women don't exist. Please, ignore your physical senses and for once in your life, believe in the government. Russia capitulated. Crap, we're outnumbered. Austria capitulated. And all of their men died for nothing because they're a bunch of losers. And we can have another company. We're gonna get the 2-1 because soon we can leverage our access to rubber to become the world's greatest tool producers. We are tools. Megacorp. Exploit them. Megacorp. And we also need appointed bureaucrats, because the conservatives hate it. In your face, losers! Now we can focus on more important things, such as the world war. Even more elections. Alright guys, it's time to vote conservative, because we're going to end the war in 24 hours. Promise! And there you go guys, a great number of people now live in Grand Colombia, thanks to our migration efforts, which grew our population. Damn those third-party bastards! The conservatives won, and as promised, our president, Juan Pablo Rojas Jau, is going to end the war immediately by signing a white peace. No harm done to anyone, unless you're a poor person who died in the war, but they don't count. Ignore them. Now I know what you're thinking. Holy fucking shit, do we actually have 920 boats? I mean, Britain has 318. But of course we do. They're real boats on the water, manned with men. And most certainly not woman, because women aren't real. Speaking of men, we finally have precision tools. Tools for real men. Megacorp. Speaking of companies, God we suck. What happened? I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I feel like the game doesn't seem to work properly. It's not just the boats. Monopolies also seem to be somewhat different after the last update. But even still, we have all of the South American countries. I want it. Alright guys, it's time to vote liberal, as I'm desperate for women. Oh boy, Juan Montalvo is definitely the guy, which will finally give us women. Remember guys, the most important thing is that they don't have balls. Argentina is demanding their independence, not on my watch. Japan is supporting Argentina. What a great opportunity to completely blockade them using my brand new shiny navy, which is just as big as everyone says it is. Oh my god, women, they can finally hit the shelves. Megacorp's greatest achievement, it's beautiful. No need to thank me guys. Now put on the funny clothes. Argentina gave up. Oh, come on. But that's alright guys, we're going to destroy Britain with the largest fleet ever built. Especially after the new upcoming boat changes. That's right guys, we're going to sail the old navy system and crush it into Britain. Because fuck 'em. I mean obviously we have to fight them both in South America and the Grand Colombian East Indies. But here's the grand strategy. We're going to completely blockade their island, leaving all of their troops stranded. Even Ireland is in on it. That's right, protesters, rise up and take back your country. And Ireland managed to win their independence. Hilarious. Although, looking at Britain's economic collapse, it's not surprising. Anyway, I'm going to take a piece of Ireland by force. They backed down. Alright mates, let's walk into Britain and see if they have women. Obviously, they can't possibly withstand us, as we have completely isolated them from the world market. And there you go guys, in the alternate timeline, where women don't exist and are nothing but corporate propaganda, Megacorp stands victorious. Well, the key takeaway here is that men would do anything for female attention, so long as it doesn't involve taking a shower. Women! Am I right guys? Alright, this is going to be the last Victoria 3 video. Until the big DLC, Boat. So tell me, what do you want to see next? Some more Crusader Kings or RimWorld? Which are the two best games involving women? I'll let you decide. Until next time.